How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another Canadian video games channel, here to continue playing Kerbal Space Program with our aimless attempt to explore the solar system. There's no real goal here. We're just trying to see what we can figure out, see what there is to see, and we have come across some interesting realizations. One, heat is a problem. Heat is most definitely a problem. We had that issue. Also realized that because we didn't save any of the designs, we have nothing to start with. Oh, we have the autosave. Alright, we'll load the autosave. That's good. I like that. We're not going to keep most of it, of course, but it's nice to know that that happens. Alright, all this is garbage. We are moving on to bigger and better things. Fuel tanks, stuff, command center stuff, structural coupling. Payload, we have a service bay. We have a service bay. So that will allow us to carry more science and things. Open the service bay up. We can put things in it. It's great. I don't think we have anything to put in it currently, so we might go ahead and just take that right back off. Just take that off. We can put a heat shield on, and there's a smaller heat shield that we can put on top. Put a heat shield there. That's good. We will want a decoupler. If we can find the decoupler, there we go. Decoupler on there. That's a bit thick, but yeah, I'm sure it'll work just fine. I'm hoping the heat shield is going to be enough to keep everything else alive. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Do we want some landing gear? We could put out some landing gear. Put out some landing gear. We can have it start retracted. Like that. Yeah, that might be alright. But we'll try anyways. Ooh, we're gonna want... Hold on. We're gonna want the service bay anyways. Hold on. Where's the service bay? Yeah, put the service bay on. We're going to drop you down to 3 legs. We're gonna... We can't do that. Alright. Back to 4 legs. 4 legs seems... No, 3 legs. I was wrong. 3 legs. 3 legs is good. We will work with 3 legs. Is that about balanced? That's about balanced. Now, if you would go ahead and extend, is that... You don't... You're not actually beneficial if this is here. So that's just not... We don't need it. We don't need it. It's been decided. Back to the heat shield. Heat shield, heat shield, heat shield, heat shield. Heat shield. Go ahead and put a big old heat shield on there. And we'll go back to our decoupler. Put our decoupler on. And then we'll want a big old main engine. Do we want to go back to the liquid engine? Maybe we try it. We don't have any really good stabilizer equipment, do we? We do have the barometer for measuring pressure. Let's go ahead and we'll stick... No. We will stick 1 on here. And we'll go ahead and move you up over there. It doesn't need to be perfectly balanced. I don't think that really affects the center of mass terribly. Doesn't seem to have made a big difference. So at this point we want to have some thrust. We want some thrust. Where we go? We're going for the big engine again. Going for the big boy. And we're going to go for some of those little fins. Maybe like 3 of them. We'll line them up over here like that. And we'll get some radial decouplers that we will line up here. There we go. And we're going to put some more big boys on here. Yeah, we're going to put some more big boys on here. Let's get some more of these guys in there. And aerodynamics. We'll put some nose cones on them. That's all good. Now we are going to want some more thermal. We're going to want some heat shields. So we're going to go ahead and put a panel in here. Thermals. Let's go ahead and bump that up to 6. Is that going to do what I want it to do? No. We're going to have to do it like this. Alright, well let's put you on the outer. Do we want to put you on the outer edge? And then on the outer edge, we want to keep things nice and controlled. I feel like there's a way to. These are activate. We're gonna have to activate the radiators. Oh, I don't know what button that's gonna be. Oh, that's potentially very bad. It's potentially very bad, but we'll go ahead and we'll give this a try. This is, of course, the Kerbal Mark 6. Oh, we had more parachutes, didn't we? Yes, we have the high radial mount, high drop chute, and the radial mount. Oh, why do you do this to me? Get rid of you. We're gonna go back to your science stuff. No! Don't do that. I don't know why you're doing that. Stop. You'll take that. But that immediately becomes... Hold on. If I do this right... There we go! I think it's because I was lining up with these things or whatever. So, we want to go back to... We want to add some high drop. Some high drop chutes. Right at the top. We'll open those in the early atmosphere. Both of them, yep. And then that comes off at its own point. We have that separate at its own time. We have that go off at its own time. We have those separate at its own time. We have that go off at its own... Okay, this might work. This might work. Unless I need to be able to turn all these on in a moment's notice. Let's just double check. Good to know. Yeah. Docking flight. Oh, that's cool. Actually, hold on. This might be in the action groups, right? Stage gear. We don't have gear. We don't have... Oh, we do have a light, apparently. RCS, SAS, brake, support, custom. Oh, that's not what I wanted at all. Crew, Jebediah. We're still missing our good Valentina Kerman. I feel like we could do with some more stabilizer fins, but it's probably fine. Let's get back into here. Is there a set button for turning the radiators on and off, or do they just like kick in if there's like something going wrong? Roll, yaw, pitch, yep. Throttle up, throttle down. all sorts of good stuff. Space travel, no, I don't need to see any of that. Rocketry, basics, forces, stability, da 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 da. Oh, they've added a lot of information here. No, none of that seems... It's currently idle. We can turn it on, we can turn it off. Is there... No? Right, well, I guess we'll give it a shot. We do have them. Maybe we turn them on before we take off. Maybe that's what we do. Maybe we should go around and turn on all the radiators before we lift off. You provide some cooling. It's not huge. We have to do this at each individual... We have to do this at each individual radiator. Is there a way to just turn them all on automatically? Is this also costing resources? This is costing an electrical charge, but I feel like that's worth it. Alright, everything's going. Turn on the SAS, turn on the RCS. We're running out of electrical charge nice and quick, but hopefully this helps. Hopefully Jebediah survives. That would be good. That would be very good. We're going up. Oh, things are getting toasty. Things are getting toasty. That's red. That's red. Oh, are those... Does that mean that they can't be used, or that they're being damaged? I don't know. Oh, that wasn't good. That wasn't good. Everything exploded and died. So now that we're up, let's go ahead and try and set up for a nice... Here we go. This will give us a nice arc over the planet. Try and go maybe a bit more normal. No, that's heating us up a fair bit. That's heated us up quite a bit. And we can go ahead and ditch all of that. And we'll leave that focused on retrograde so that when we come back into the atmosphere, all is well in the world. Now, let's just see how far up we're going to go this time. 126. We can speed up a little bit until we get up into that level. There we are. There's space. Now we can speed up things a little bit faster. Just until we reach our point of interest. And oh, I really hope this goes well, because we're gonna be hitting hard when we do hit. And here we are. Here's our little... How's our supply doing? Electrical charge is good, monopropellant is good, all of that's good. Alright, so let's get a crew report. Good. We'll keep that. Let's go EVA and get an EVA report for some more science and get back on board. And we'll take some mysterious goo observations for an extra 10 science. And some more mysterious goo observations for some more science. We will check our temperature. And we will check our pressure. The instrument reads 0. It's as if we were in a vacuum. Fascinating! Isn't that just the best stuff ever? We can turn off the RCS, we can turn off the SAS until we get back towards Kerbal. You know, there it is. There's some debris, 7.1 kilometers away, 7.2 kilometers away, heading back to Earth. Earth? Kerbal? Kerbin? Kerbal. I think it's called Kerbal. Universal time, MET, mission estimate time? I don't know. Kerbal Space Center, 100% signal strength. I should hope so. We haven't gone that far. I mean, we're 100,000 kilometers up. 100,000 kilometers. 100,000 meters. 100 kilometers up. It's not that far. And we are in space. And look at him! He's so excited! He's in space! It's just the most amazing thing in the world. For poor little Kerbal. Little Jebediah. Hopefully the equipment and everything can survive the trip back. We put a heat shield on the capsule, so the capsule should be fine. I hope the equipment survives. Don't know how we can heat shield the equipment aside from putting it inside of a science center. I don't know if that's really possible with some of the stuff. Definitely worth considering. We turn the SAS on, we go retrograde. Is going to use up some electric charge over time. But we should have enough that that's sufficient. Yeah, that should all be good. As we make our way back to Earth. Kerbal. We're back inside the atmosphere at this point. And ooh, things are going orange already. Is that because we're going too fast? We are going quite quick, yes. 1,400 meters per second. Okay. Jebediah, my fingers are crossed for you, buddy. Oh, now it's gone red. That's not good. It must be speed related, not heat related. That should slow us down some. Now that we've hit that, we've hit it with the heat shield, so that's good. We should be slowing down now. We should be slowing down as we get into the atmosphere. Okay, we are slowing down. That's heating up. Oh, the canisters aren't going to survive. They are not going to survive. They're heating up. Maybe not heating up too much. We are slowing down. We're slowing down significantly. Okay, this might work. This could work. And we can launch the high altitude chutes. Ooh. And they seem to be working. We're slowing down. They haven't exploded. They haven't fully deployed, I don't think. Unless that's fully deployed. That's not very exciting if that's fully deployed, but what have you. And we're into the lower atmosphere. Hurrah! And we are easily safe to deploy the main chute at this point. I'm just curious to see if these things actually deploy a bit more, or if that's as good as it gets. That might be all we get out of them. But that's not the worst. Oh, there we go. They've expanded a bit more. And we're cruising at a comfortable 26 meters per second until we get a little bit closer to the ground. And the debris landed about 7.6 kilometers away, but still definitely on Kerbal. And they're in the green there. They're under. Excellent. We'll go ahead and turn the SAS off. That's not necessary at this point. I didn't even use up that much charge. The heat shield took a slight beating, but everything else is doing okay. All right. It worked! It worked out quite well. We'll go ahead and we'll launch the main chute now. We should see that fill up. Slowing down. That reduces our speed to 7 meters per second. I feel like we're going down faster than we used to, and I don't feel like the heat shield adds that much to it, but we'll go ahead and speed up time until we hit the ground. Good. Oh, there's a docking mode, staging mode, and you can get to and from the map. Well done, Jebediah. You are the first Kerman to successfully go to space and back. Very good. The back part was very important because we had other missions that didn't go over nearly so well. We're down to 6 meters per second, which is within the impact rating of all of this good stuff. So there we go. We're back on land. And we're prepared to recover the vessel. Excellent. An excellent mission. and one that has seen good things occurring. So we got some good science. We earned 53 science, and Jebediah survived and is ready to go again. The poor, poor man. Alright, so that will allow us to... We could go all the way up to basic science, which will get us probes, which maybe should have been earlier in the tech tree. I feel like when you're working on space travel, the first thing you do is you send something inanimate to space, not flesh and blood living things. But at the same time, I feel like that's probably not how things went historically for us either. I'm pretty sure people were the first things strapped onto rockets. It gets us battery packs, the Science Junior, which is a science lab that's just extra science, an experiment storage unit. Okay. Storing mysterious goo and data tapes. Created these experiment storage units to help Kerbal knots bring their valuable science back to Kerbin while avoiding the hazards of re-entry, rough landings, and Jeb's piloting skills. Good! Alright, so that can hold up a fair amount of impact. 15 meters per second, whereas that can only handle 6. Can also handle a fair bit more temperature than the Science Junior can handle. And radiator panel edge. A radially attached radiator panel to help dissipate heat into space. Okay, so that might be beneficial. We also get the large radiator panel. Which can handle higher temperatures or something or other. And we get the high gain antenna. Short-range dual-purpose communications antenna that can handle either direct communications or short-range relays. So that's available for 45 science. We can also get, for 45 science, we can get flight control, which gets us new winglets, better winglets, and the inline reaction wheel, which just helps keep things stable. Which wouldn't be a terrible thing to have. We can also switch over and do aviation and get fuselage and cockpit and jumbo jet plane stuff, and we can try and make planes and try and make that work instead. Which might require landing, which is probably not a skill that we're going to have anytime soon. We can try general construction, which will get us a crew cabin. Aha! Drive from a business jet and upgraded for use in spacecraft. That'll get us the EAS-4 strut connector. As well as a bigger decoupler, which allows for some cross feed. Structural fuselage, which doesn't hold anything, carries no fuel, but it's lighter and more solid. The Rokomux brand adapter, and the launch stability enhancer. Or we can go for general rocketry, which will get us bigger fuel tanks, bigger boosters, and better engines. That requires 20, and we have 60. So we won't be able to get 2 of these things if we want to go for any of this stuff. Of course, getting the science right away will help us with getting more science later, and it'll also give us the experiment storage unit, which we can perhaps stick some of our goo and things into for handling reentry and all of that. Also give us Stay Putnik, which carries no crew at all, thus keeping them perfectly safe from all harm. This device does require electricity to operate, however, and will cease to function if the power runs out. So this could give us an opportunity to send things up and not worry about them coming back down, but I think overall this probably has some good stuff in it, because we can get to space with our current systems. Although bigger rockets, I think we'll go for this. We'll get the basic science, which unlocks electrics, miniaturization, and space exploration, which will give us a storage container, hitchhiker storage container. So that's a bigger crew cabin that allows for 4 crew, mobility enhancer, and the Rove Max. That we also get stack separator, adapters, and the Docotron, and Probodyne OKTO, full voltaic panels, battery bank, control system small, illuminator, Good stuff. Lots of good stuff. Okay, so we've got all our new parts available. Let's do some building and some slight design work, and also figure out how some of these things work. All right, so there's the Probodobodine Staputnik, which is yay big. We won't be using that until we decide we want to send something to the sun, probably. Fuel tanks, we still got the one fuel tank. We still have the same collection of engines, the girders, couplers, payload, aerodynamics, the micro landing struts. Thermals, we still have the heat shields, but now we have some new radiators. We've got the edge radiator. That's how it works. He's quite big. It's very big. Okay. And the big radiator panels. There we go. That's some serious coverage right there. That's some serious coverage. Good. Electrical, we now have access to a battery pack, so we can throw some extra power in there so that we don't need to be so worried about whether or not our SAS system uses up all the electricity. Commutron 16, Commutron 16S, and the HD5 high gain antenna, which can handle the same amount of temperature. It can handle slightly higher impacts. And it seems to be just a more powerful antenna. 1 kilopascal dynamic pressure, 1 kilopascal dynamic pressure. That doesn't need to be deployed. That can just function at any point. It requires 20 seconds, 20 charge per second. This requires 50 charge per second. But allows for faster bandwidth, higher bandwidth. Oh, so that's a thing now. There's bandwidth. Interesting. The packet size is the same to MITS or MLTS or whatever that's supposed to be. And it's rated for 5M instead of 500K. Seems like it's a better system, although yeah, I think we'll leave that alone for now. We're gonna go ahead and pull this off temporarily while we check out the experiment store. I'm just... Really? That's the experiment storage bin? Okay, just hold on. I'm gonna put you on top, which looks a bit silly, I have to admit. How do you work? Yes, we can put the goo directly on you. That's true, but that doesn't necessarily keep them safe. What does this do? Cleanup requires electric charge. Cleanup costs 1. Oh, this is rerunnable. So we can just take a bunch of readings? Okay. Now, I still don't know what this experimental storage unit is good for. I thought it was going to be like that, the payload service bay. And it would be something that opens up and a little bit bigger, and we'd be able to put stuff in it. Now this is, well, this looks weird. This looks quite weird. Very weird indeed. I don't know that I like it. I don't think I can say I like it. I don't know how to use it, and I don't know that I like the look of it. So I won't worry about it. We will, however, attach the junior science. Ba-bam! Because this, I know how this works. Boom! Science! Do some science. And on that, we're going to want some landing legs, because that thing can't take a very big beating. Impact tolerance, 6 meters per second. We're going to need more parachute power if we're going to pull that off. And we're going to want our heat shield on the bottom. Keep that safe. We're also going to want to go to... Yeah, we're going to want some landing gear. We're going to want at least 3 stuck on here. We'll go ahead and start you retracted. And just make sure that it doesn't interfere with the doors. I mean, it looks like it should, but the game doesn't seem to really care, so don't worry about it. And that will allow us to land more comfortably, because I think these things can take a bit of, 10 meters per second impact. We do have a collection of parachutes. We have the center of mass is down there, center of thrust is down there. So it will be kind of unstable a little bit. We could probably fix that by just pulling. That also moves other aspects. Just put that there. We will, however, take all of these off and replace them with the bigger radiators, which we find in thermal. There we go. We'll put the big old radiator panels on here. We'll just want to make sure we get that all nice and lined up. There we go. So now we're only rocking 6 radiators instead of 9. Still basically running the same rocket system here. Let's go ahead and we'll move these down a touch just so that we're not trying to balance everything on the middle post right before launch, the middle thruster. I think that's all there is to it before we give this another try. See how it works. We go ahead, we throw a battery on there. Let's just put a single battery on here. Maybe we do a mirror mode thing. Symmetry. Left, right, symmetry. There we go. Something like that. Just a couple little batteries that we can put on. That shouldn't affect the center of mass or the center of thrust terribly. They're fairly small. That'll just give us a bit more fuel. Not fuel, but power, electricity. That sort of stuff. So we will go ahead and turn off those. And once again, we're going to want those parachutes going off separately and independently. And there we go. That should do. And we will call this the Mark 6A rather than calling it the Mark 7, because all we really did was add the science compartments and landing gears and batteries and stuff. It's still mainly the same rocket. Mainly the same rocket. There's nothing important happened there, but we'll go ahead. We'll stick Jebediah back in it. Stick it on the landing pad. Here we go. Let's go ahead and turn on radiators. Let's get these suckers all running. Alright, we got all our radiators on. SAS, RCS. Good luck, Jebediah. It worked the first time, so it should be okay the second time. Shouldn't be any significant concerns. And with the extra weight of the science lab, we shouldn't have the same problem with overheating? Maybe? Oh. Okay. Let's drop those, and we'll just wait to calm down a bit. And we will go normal and fire. And then set it prograde. Normal. Prograde. Normal. Prograde. Normal. Wait for it to steady out. Now prograde. So we can just get further out. We do have some heat concerns. Dump that. And let's just keep going until we hit space. And then we'll do some science when we get there. We'll go ahead and turn you off for the time being. No big concern. Hopefully we do actually make it to space. Otherwise we'll be doing some high atmosphere science rather than space atmosphere science. Space atmosphere science? Yes, space atmosphere science. I think space starts at 75,000 meters. I think where they recognize space. The final frontier. Oh! Okay, you click the button and you can actually see inside the cockpit. Oh, there it is. We're into space, so let's go ahead and observe the materials bay for 25 minutes. 25 science if we recover. So we'll go ahead and keep on that. Close the doors. We will observe the mysterious goo. It's not worth a whole lot of science to do that, so we won't worry about doing it too much. So we'll log pressure. That's not worth much. We'll log temperature. Also not worth much. But we'll do those again when we get back to Earth. Or Kerbal, rather. Upon landing, we'll take some more barometric and temperature readings, and we'll also do the goo, because I'm not sure exactly where, but we will be landing somewhere here. Somewhere we didn't start at. Up here in the mountains, it looks like. Well, that's quite alright. That's quite alright indeed. We also need crew reports, don't we? Let's go in here, let's see. Crew report. That's not worth much. We might want to worry about that again later. And we'll use you. We'll get an EVA report. That's also not worth anything. Alright, maybe we do those again when we land. We are definitely on the way down now, so we're going to go ahead and tell the SAS to keep us in retrograde. That will be good to see. And what do we have down there? 18.6 kilometers away. Kerbal debris. 19 kilometers. So it hasn't hit ground, and it's not going to hit ground for a while yet, because we're 100 kilometers up, so it's 80 kilometers up and falling pretty quickly. Now, we are heavier. We are heavier than we used to be, thanks to the Junior Science Lab, so we're going to have to hope that we slow down enough that we can deploy the parachutes before we hit the ground. Hey, Jebediah? That'll be a good thing to see, won't it? Make a landing that's actually safe and functional and all of that. That would be very good. That would definitely be very good. Oh, actually, we might want to take temperature readings at each stage of atmosphere, as well as the barometric pressure readings, because those are rerunnable, so we can do those over and over and over again and just try and collect more data from each stage of the atmosphere during our descent. That sounds like a plan to me. How are we doing on the old power? Electrical charge. Yeah, I don't think we need to worry about it. It's doing pretty good. So we're still in space. We're getting close to the entry of the atmosphere. We're only doing about 1,000 meters per second, so we're coming in a little bit more calm, I think, than last time. We were coming in right quick before. Let's take a crew report. Overwrite the existing crew report. That's worth some science. Good. We're not sending him outside in this. That's not going to happen. We can go ahead here and log some temperature. Overwrite the existing temperature scan. Sure, it wasn't worth anything anyways. That's also not worth anything. Well, reset it, sure. Log pressure. Overwrite existing pressure. That's worth science. Keep that. That's good stuff. We are going a bit fast to launch our parachutes, and here comes the heat. Here comes the heat. Good. And yeah, we're slowing down. We're slowing down. There we go, there we go, there we go. There's some deceleration effects. Quite substantial ones. Maybe we want to log the temperature at this point. Sure, that's keeper. And we can launch the high altitude parachutes for some slowing down. And we are safe to launch the main parachute if we were to choose to do so, but I'd like to get a little bit closer to ground because it can slow you down somewhat. Just a little bit. It can slow you down just a little bit. So here we come. Returning to Kerbal. Up in the highlands, according to the thermometer. We're not going to do any barometric data or any of that currently because, yeah, that seems to be not quite reusable the way I thought it might have been. We can go ahead and observe the goo at this point, and that seems to be acceptable, so we'll go ahead and keep that. Oh, I think that's what it is. If you log the temperature, you can transmit data, but you can't do that with other things. Sure, that's possible. That is possible. Let's go ahead and extend the legs. That will catch us when we land, although not at this speed. That would be rather disastrous, but we can go ahead and launch the main chute. Get that up there. And oh, it looks like a proper landing capsule and all of that good stuff. Oh, it looks so proper and excellent. Now we're coming down at 8 meters per second. Well, that's acceptable. We'll go ahead and speed time up. As we approach the ground, a 3-leg should be stable enough that we don't fall down the hill, but if we don't land on a particularly flat piece, we can go ahead and turn SAS off. That's not necessary at this point. We shouldn't tip over. 3 is a good number, so we'll see how that goes. As we approach the ground, we'll slow that down to regular speed for touchdown at 7 meters per second. Oh, and there's a slight problem there. We did fall over. Let's go ahead and pull those back in. They stopped us from really doing any damage, but yeah, there was an unfortunate situation there. So let's take the crew report, overwrite the existing crew report. Good. Let's go EVA and get an EVA report. Now, actually, if we go ahead and jump off, we can take a surface sample. That's worth some science. And now we can try and get back on. There we go. Oh, nope, that's Jeb. What are you doing to me? Can we get you? All right, we're gonna. I need. Oof! Come on, Jeb, get back in that ship. You know what? Maybe we can just recover you anyways. Maybe it's fine. Probably don't need to get you back in the ship anyways. So that was a good flight. We learned some interesting things from that. That our landing pod, as I'm going to call it, is actually not in a terrible situation. I got us some sights. And Jeb is ready to go again. So let's go ahead and check out the research. We should be able to get general rocketry. Yes, we can get general rocketry. So that'll get us bigger boosters and bigger gas tanks with bigger liquid engines, which can't produce quite the same amount of thrust as these guys can. So we've got that. We might want to go for flight control next, because we're going to want those inline reactors sooner or later. And potentially stabilizers and crew cabins and all that good stuff. But for now, let's look at doing some really high altitude stuff. Let's see if we can get into orbit. That should be good. That should be very good. So we're going to take everything south of the... well, I suppose we do want the decoupler there. We'll go ahead and put that back on. We're going to rebuild the rocket from here. So we're going to want... we're going to want to go to the engines. Not the engines, fuel tanks. Here we go. So we go for bigger fuel tank. Literally just carries double the fuel. And weighs, I think, exactly double. Go ahead and put one of those on there. And we'll go ahead and put... Do you want the bigger thruster or the smaller thruster? Let's go for the swivel engine. It's weaker, but it provides some gimbal. Which I think means it's going to have a bit more control. At this point, we're going to want to radially decouple. We're going to want 3 is a good number. We've been doing okay with 3. Is that going to interfere with the landing gear? Yeah, maybe. We'll put those here. Now we're going to want those big berthas. Let's get the thumper rockets on here. There we go. You're quite in the way. Quite in the way. Can we move those down at all? Like, pick them up from the top? No. Moving there, can I... Nope, that just spins them. Is there a way to shift them down? Or do we just... We don't get to see where we're going for a little while, that's all. That's all that means. They're big. Maybe we don't need the really big ones. Maybe we can get away with the smaller ones. We can get away with these ones. We'll put a nose cone on them. There we are, nose cone. And we'll put the winglets out on the edge here. Good. And then we'll go to thermals, and we're going to put some radiator panels on here. I'm going to try and do symmetry mode. Nope, symmetry mode, not allowed. Alright, well, put that like that. No, stay there. No, let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's go back to place. I'm gonna go ahead and put another one of these suckers on here. We want to kind of put it in roughly the same angle. Is that about... that's actually pretty close. That's pretty close. It's probably not exactly in line and all of that stuff. Oh, there's gotta be a way to... Maybe a button or something that I'm missing. Do I control? Like, how do I get this to work exactly how I want? Oh, that's... that controls my my ability to snap things in place. No, there's something I'm missing from this. Yeah, it wants to do it like that. But there's got to be something else. There's got to be a way to mirror these properly. Oh, we're also a little... we are balancing on the other thing. So no, we are going for the big boys, I think, because all we have are girders, which are not useless, just not great. Okay, we'll go ahead and we'll line that back up in the middle. We're going to want... Well, theoretically, this bit is going to be in space only, so we're not going to have much benefit from winglets. The thumper will definitely get us to space. These things will get us pretty much there as well. Okay, we'll put these on. We'll go for aerodynamic nose. We will put winglets on the outer edge, and we will do got all of that stuff that we need. Large radiator panel, which we'll put there. Now, I feel like I'm definitely missing something, so let's get in here. Construction interface, controls, that's probably better. Duplicate assembly. It's not doing what I thought it would do. What was that? Left Alt. Left Alt. Click to duplicate assembly. Is that going to mean... It's not going to do entirely what I want. But it means I could do that. Get more of those. That's not... No, that's not quite what I'm looking for. Editor? C to toggle snap on and off, R to toggle symmetry on off, F to toggle symmetry around craft or part. Okay, so if I click this and we click F, radial symmetry around your vehicle, radial symmetry around parent part. This little parent part. Radial symmetry. Yeah, we can't. Let's take that off. And can we focus on this one at all? This is... I'm just trying to double up these things nicely. That's all I'm trying to do here. Left should hold to rotate in 5-degree increments. Hold to force node attachment. Use a power rotation to lead such part. I guess I'm stuck just saying. Let's duplicate you to just over here as near as possible with the old eyeball. It's not perfect, but it'll do. So that should provide enough cooling for everything. We'll go ahead and we'll turn these things on right away. No, don't do that. Activate radiator. Did that turn off the other ones? It did. Turned off everything. Turn on all the radiators. There we go. Now this could potentially get us into space and maybe even into an orbit. That's the hope. But we are running out of time to find out if it will. So let's get out and see if we can get up out of here. Let's see if we can get on up out of here. Jebediah, I hope you're ready, because this is going to be fast. Very fast. We're doing 180, 200 meters per second. 300 meters per second. Moving up very quickly. Go ahead. Ditch all that stuff. Ooh, you are not having a good time keeping control of all of that. Give you a second to come to normal. If you can figure it out. Can you figure out getting normal? Let's see if we can get... Ooh! Nope, that burnt out. That burnt out very poorly. Turn this on to retrograde. Ooh! Well, I guess we never got out of the atmosphere, so that's... Let's observe the materials. Keep the science. Get a crew report. Crew report. That's for some science. We'll launch the first set of parachutes. We will observe the mysterious goo. That's worth almost nothing. We'll save you for when we get to the ground. Let's take a pressure reading. Good. Keep that. Take a temperature reading. Good. We'll keep that. Oh, that was disappointing. That didn't work out very well at all. That didn't work out very well. Oh, I think we're just going to land in the water, so I'll wait until we get down a little bit further in the atmosphere, and then we will observe the mysterious goo again, which is probably, not worth any science. So we're going to land in the water, aren't we? Close the doors. I mean, we can put the feet out. I don't know how much good they're going to do. Launch the other parachute, and we will speed up time to splashdown. We should see these fill out, and then that will fill out when we get a little bit closer. Slow down a little bit more, maybe. Is it height related or is it speed related? I think it's height related. Density of the air, something like that. And just wait for splashdown. At a good 7 meters per second. Oop, something landed. Something landed and went boom. So not quite the mission we wanted it to be. But now we know. Now we know. And we got a bit more science that perhaps we can use to research. Oof. That we can perhaps use to research something interesting. Let's go ahead and EVA, and let's get an EVA report. Yep, that's for science. Get back on board, and we will recover the vessel. We could probably take a surface sample as well and just get the water and be like, yep, that's water. Because it's Kerbal Space Program, and it's fantastic and wonderful in many ways. And we're up to 46. We got Jebediah back, so yes, 46. We can get advanced flight control, which will get us the inline reaction wheel. Good. That could be definitely useful. As well as some new winglets and stuff. We could go for the launch stabilizer enhancer and crew cabins and stuff, but I don't feel like that's quite as important right now. Ooh, the little engine. Those are good stuff, but this is probably the right thing to have at the moment, which unlocks a few new things. It launches landing, which gives us the LT1 landing strut, which is a little bit stronger, can handle a bit better impact. The launch escape system. It's a solid rocket tower designed to wrench the command pod up and away from a malfunctioning rocket. Oh, it's an emergency launch. A bigger parachute. Double size with half the integrity. And landing gear for planes. And a bigger heat shield for presumably bigger cockpits and whatnot. And that's also unlocked advanced flight control for an even better stabilizer. The lander can, which is a good little space pod. And the roundified monopropellant tank. Placed anywhere linear RCS port. Which are reaction control system thrusters. And the RCS block. That's going to cost a bit more. And then we'll get around to moving up the technology until we get to the final stages where we get the Rapier engines and holding tanks and scanners and other things. Used for storing raw materials, not to be used as a bouncy castle. Yes. Very heavy rockets, all that good stuff. But that will have to wait until later. Until next time, have a good one.